Good evening. Are we live? This is a public announcement to Casper Michael. In one single moment, your life can turn around. I stand there for a minute, staring straight into the ground, looking left slightly, and then looking back down. The world feels like it's caving in. I properly frown. Please let me show you where we could just be. I can change, I can grow, or we can adjust. The wicked thing about us is we always have trust. We can have an open relationship, if you must. I look into the Celtic supporters and they stare straight back at me. Their glazed eyes look straight over me. They open their eyes, the Celtic fans look straight through me. The Celtic fans' eyes closed for what seems to be an eternity. When they open their eyes, they look down at their feet at me. I know it's hard to take, but the Celtic fans' minds are made up. There's plenty more keepers in the sea. Dry your eyes, mate. We know this pain hurts, but you've got to walk away now because it's over. Dry your eyes, mate. Of course Casper's not drying his eyes. He's pissing himself laughing. Look at him. He's pissing himself laughing at Celtic fans. Jesus, get a grip, man. Honestly. Jesus. Casper Michael fucking crying. You having a laugh? You having a laugh? Are you having a laugh? Anyway, it's Thursday. Good evening and welcome back to the one. Look at him. He's pissing himself laughing. One can turn around. One Celtic fan's view. What a start that was, wasn't it? But anyway, let's talk about. Well, there's only one thing that's going to be spoken about this evening and this week, isn't there? Is the Celtic. It's the Celtic way, isn't it? It's Thursday, and I've had some time off this week, which has been good actually. It has been good. I've had a lot to deal with this week. I've had some what would you call it? You would call it migrant stuff to deal with. Yeah, I've had some migrant stuff to deal with, and got my permanent residency here in Spain. So I'm now a permanent resident here in Spain, just in case you wanted to know. But it's fantastic for me because you've got to go to the National Police Office and all fucking sorts of shit. You've got to fill out paperwork, and you've got to then come back and get fingerprints taken and all sorts of shit. But yes, it's you've got to go through migrant stuff, and it's just a reminder to those disbelievers who do not believe that Celtic was brought up and was built on migrants. This channel is all about a migrant being a migrant and having his love for Celtic and missing Celtic every single day. And I'm lucky I can do this. I'm lucky that I put things in place so that this channel could be what it is these years later. But anyway, we digress because Celtic are a friggin' shit show, aren't they? I think Celtic think that they're in World War II or are still in the 1980s where there's a Cold War scenario going on and you don't talk about anything. Loose lips sink ships. Celtic are taking that to the extreme, the whole loose lips sink ships scenario. And we're on the wrong screen. Let's get rid of Casper. And we're going to look at Facebook first of all for Celtic. 3 hours ago, Celtic put out a fantastic post. Yeah, look. Benji Negron looks back on his goals. Yeah, fucking yes. Come on, Celtic. Yeah, it's had 7 shares, 12,000 views, and the comments. There's not very many, there's 7. And then there was yesterday, 12:36. The next match is this weekend, where you travel to Standardise. Fucking shut up. Every match is cup final now. And before that, it was yesterday, was Benji. Benji talking to a pre-recorded thing that was recorded about a week ago. And then, Yang before that. That was the 17th on Facebook. Today's the 19th of March, 2026. I've got to put this comment up. Schmeichel does whatever he wants, whenever he wants, train whenever he wants, plays whenever he wants, gives interviews whenever he wants. Get him to fuck whenever he wants. Sorry, I had to do it in an English voice. I know he's Danish, but I had quite an English side to it. When we then go into the land of Twitterati, I'm going to go and I need to play this because I need something that gives me Celtic joy, Celtic love, and gives me one of the best moments in section 111 at Celtic Park. And we need some joy in our life. And the night against Barcelona, where the Green Brigade put out the first ever full UK tifo around Celtic Park. And Celtic milked it. Celtic milked it for everything it was worth. Celtic sold posters, memorabilia, the whole full stadium tifo that the Green Brigade paid for, that Celtic fans raised £34,000 for that tifo. Celtic fans are stronger than what we think and what they think. And we need to acknowledge that. Sometimes stepping away from being in the firing line and being in the trenches gives you time to analyse, to think. And I'd say to everyone that has a season ticket, that goes to games, that watches Celtic, that reads Celtic blogs, videos, content on a daily basis, take 2 or 3 days off. Take 2 or 3 days off and do not think about Celtic. And put life into perspective. And when you put life into perspective and when you think about everything that goes on in your life, yes, Celtic is a way of life for a lot of people. Celtic has been a way of life for me for a long, long time. Way longer than people think and people that watch this current format of the podcast. Don't know, this channel's been on the go for a long time in regards to Celtic, and I think that we need a little bit of joy. And that joyous moment for me came when the Green Brigade did a full stadium tifo, paid by the fans, made by the fans. Celtic milked the fans. That evening was fantastic. The likes of Messi trying to score goals. Certain goalkeeper, young goalkeeper at the time, riding his luck at times. But I tell you one thing, he stood up to it. Celtic stood up to it. The fans stood up to it. They believed. They knew. We are Glasgow Celtic. And when it came to it, the end point. All the Celtic fans went ballistic. Tony, what? Let's not forget where we came from. Let's not forget what we went through over the years. Let's not forget that together we can achieve things. Divided we have been this season. Divided we have been as Celtic fans. I can remember back in the early 2000s when I did a diploma. And part of the management side of the diploma was all about management structures. And one of the big things was the whole divide and conquer thing. The hierarchy at Celtic Park have played the whole divide and conquer thing to the highest level this year. They think they have won. They might have won the battles throughout the season. They might have stopped the Celtic fans protesting in numbers. They might have stopped the chance of sack the board. They'll never get rid of it. They'll never get rid of the fact that the Celtic fans will always unite. And they will always back the right side of history. Which takes us to the whole debacle of this current week. Yes, division still remains within the fans. Division will always still remain inside of the fans, Paul. Do you know, I've been through this enough from the 1980s onwards, and I think that a lot of us that are older fans well appreciate the fact that Celtic as a football club will always have a disjointed fan base. You know, you can have people that will proclaim that they're above other fans or they're better than other fans. The unity from Celtic fans that I know is that when the shit hits the fan, they will always come together. Always. Even when people disregard Celtic, people disregarding the Celtic fan base, it goes to the highest level currently. It goes to a level that we've never seen before at the football club. It goes to a level of we expected it from the board this year. Let's not lie. We expected the board to disregard anything that the Celtic fans said. Would it be in protest? Would it be in song? Now liberate your mind, your feel your soul's expression. Open up your eyes and you'll sing to me this song. Let the people sing their stories and their songs. The Celtic fan base need to come together more than anything now. There's not only a power struggle going on at Celtic, there's a delusion of grandeur, a delusion of them and us. There's a hierarchy at Celtic that are not telling Celtic fans the truth. Now, for football things and for business reasons, you may say, well, that's fair play. But when you have a goalkeeper coming out and telling you that his career is over, when you have a goalkeeper coming out and telling you on an American TV network that his career is over, he's an employee of the club. When you are an employee of a business, you let all your rights go. To me, It's as if Casper Michael has went a big fuck you to the fans and a big fuck you to Celtic. And I apologise for swearing. It's after 9 o'clock European time. It's only 8:15. I don't care about the UK censorship. Never have done. But one of the worst things that this season has taught us is that to expect the unexpected. Because I've no idea. And whilst I've tried to stay away from everything Celtic for a few days, obviously I've been keeping tabs on the whole Casper Michael debacle. And it's unbelievable that Celtic, even to tonight, have said absolutely nothing on social media. Now they're going to then leave it to the manager. When we look at the Celtic Twitter, it goes back to the 18th, next March, we're on the road again, we're on our way to Tannadice, fuck off. The race to the finish continues. Next stop, Dundee United away, kick-off, 12:30 Celtic Park time. And then they've got an AI image. It's not something that they made themselves. It's an AI image. Artificial intelligence has taken over at Celtic. As much as we all wanted Martin O'Neill to be a success at Celtic, I'm going to nod my hat to a couple of people on this channel who said that unfortunately Martin O'Neill coming back to the club would just be another yes man. And you know who you are. I believe that Celtic will win the double. I believe that Celtic will win the league. I believe that Celtic will win the cup. That'll never leave me. But what astounds me this season is the fact that we're sitting on the 19th of March. Casper Michael has come out with the biggest announcement of the season. And Celtic are sitting on their fucking hands. They're sitting on their hands doing absolutely nothing. I've got to listen to Martin O'Neill talking about St. Patrick's Day. Hey, fucking Chucky Allah, sing up the ra. Come on, Celtic, Jesus. Is this where we really are in 2026? Did we not get by all this? It shows me and it tells me that Celtic are in a far worse mess than we ever thought they were. And this doesn't just go down to the board taking the proverbial piss, the board being non-constructive and conversational with the fan base. This doesn't go down to the Green Brigade being anti-board and, against the establishment, or Mrs. Anti-establishment who took over the Celtic fans collective spokesmanship, or the Celtic fans collective coming together at a point of the season. 420 signatories, 420 different organisations within the Celtic fan base would still not be listened to by Celtic. Celtic need change, and I have no idea how we will achieve that change. Have you ever considered getting a job on Celtic TV? Mate, they would kick me off Celtic TV within... I'd last about 5 minutes at Celtic TV, honestly. Anyway, ChatGPT would do a better job than the board. I'm going to open up the chat for the rest of the evening Um, it's a fucking shit show. There's no, you can't, there's no nice way of putting it. I don't know. I'm only going to say what everyone else is saying. I don't know what other podcasts are saying. I've never watched any other podcast this week. Like I say, I've tried to stay away from as much Celtic content for my own mental health as possible. I've had a lot to deal with personally this week that was nothing to do with football. It was just work stuff, and I needed a clear and focused mind. And I tell you one thing, Celtic just rip the piss, don't they? They just completely rip the piss. Let's jump into the comments. We have to put up and shut up. Yes, we do as fans. Get your comments in. I'm going to run through as many comments as I can in the next few. Well, I've got a beer, so I've got a good old Spanish beer. Good old Cruz Campo. Get your comments in, have your say, and if it comes to it, I might even have a little live Zoom. So if you want to come on and have your say in public, say so in the comments, and we'll have a live Zoom this evening. And if you haven't, wait a minute, I'll just get rid of this. See that thing there? It says subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, to the One Celtic Fans View. Like I didn't practice that before. Is it me or is it a phantom pregnancy that Casper may be expecting? Well, I tell you one thing, I feel sorry for Martin O'Neill. I do. I really... Celtic have fucked... My mum keeps on saying to me, stop swearing on the channel, son. Stop swearing. Celtic have royally done Martin O'Neill over. Completely done Martin O'Neill over with this one. This is... See, when you think about... I want to say fuck-ups. See, when you think about this season, and you see what we've went through this season, you didn't think that it could get any worse. But the Casper Michael situation has... It's like he's walking about raising a wee... I've won the I could take the cunt most fucking trophy. Get it up, yous. I could take the cunt most. Anyway, what's their thoughts on Casper? He cost us a few points. He did that. Casper could do one. He's useless. He should have left last summer, says Sean. Very true. I'm not surprised anymore by the board's actions. Most Celtic fans are anti-establishment, Baz, in my opinion. Yeah, they are anti-establishment, but the board are very, very much establishment. We know this. Oh, lovely. See? Too much drink. Adios, chico. Hola, guapa. Most of the Celtic fans are anti-establishment. Yes, they are. At least we have a goalkeeper now who gives us confidence and is decent. Is a decent goal. Yes, we do. And do you know what? Looking back to last season, when towards the end of the season, before Casper Michael was called back into the fray for the cup final, I've went back to the videos and I've double checked that I did say this, and I did say at the time that Sinisalo should keep his spot for the cup final. I said that at the time, and as it turns out, I was right. And we knew at the time, we knew that Casper cost us the final, but he didn't only cost us the final. Did Casper cost us in the Cara Almaty game? We've now, as fans, we've now got to go back and analyse the whole season. Because it's not just talking about, yeah, I done my shoulder in against Stuttgart. That's when it really went bad. It goes all the way back to, yeah, I had a shoulder operation last year. I came back for the cup final. Sorry, we mucked that one up. And then we went through the season and I was getting injections. Yeah, I was fine, honest. I'm fine. And the reach to the left. No, you reach with your right. Because the keeper is shite. We all knew that Casper couldn't dive to his left. We were all watching it. We were all talking about it. Fans were talking about it. Fans were analysing it. Do you know, you don't have to be a paid coach or an analytic to see that Casper couldn't catch shit to his left. I really feel sorry for Martin O'Neill going into the press conference tomorrow. There's no one that could unite Celtic fans, Baz. I think that there is, and I think that there could be, and there was before. I mean, that person before was I'm going to get really comfy for this. That person before was Fergus McCann, and Fergus united the fans. I know that there's not going to be another one person that could come over and take over the club and have 50% control of the club or more than what Dermot Desmond has. But if we don't do something, the whole point of trying to do something, if you don't do anything, nothing will change. And we're going to go into next season with the same people in charge and the same people. And it's where do we go from there? It's madness. It is the sign of madness, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And we're not getting that different outcome. I'm not that easy to shut up, though. I do love to rant and tantrum, though. Come on, Ali. Come on. Feel free to come on to. We'll do a live Zoom call. The 86 song. Do you think that? Kidding. What? Jim Lister's still going with that. Better beer than Danish. Yeah, it is that. Should have let Sinisalo play ages ago. Yeah, we should have. And as fans, we were calling out for it. But Martin O'Neill, I'm going to go back to when Martin O'Neill came back to the club. And remember, there was an interview with Martin O'Neill, and he said, if everything goes right, and if the players that come in the transfer window are fantastic, I will take full responsibility for them. If they're garbage, I'll pass that responsibility on to Sean Maloney, Fozzie, McManus. Where does this leave us as Celtic fans? Because it was a week ago tomorrow that Martin O'Neill, and as Celtic fans, we all put our trust in Martin O'Neill, and I don't want to deviate from that. And Martin O'Neill we trust. We called out for Martin O'Neill to get the job back in December, before Wilfred Nancy. We put our trust in Martin O'Neill. We knew that Martin O'Neill could do it. We knew Martin O'Neill could turn things around. We knew that Sean Maloney, Fozzie and everybody was a good backroom staff for Martin O'Neill. We knew it was a short-term option, but a lot of people wanted it to last to the end of the season. Was that trust misplaced? Was it an easy option for Dermot Desmond when the shit hit the fan with Wilfred Nancy? Was it an easy option to go, Martin? Yeah, it's me again. Yeah, yep. You coming back up the road, mate? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I know it's a fucking shit show. Yeah, I know you might not see it at the end of the season, but it's fine. I'll fucking sort you out. It's Irish mafia stuff. Do you know what I mean? Dermot Desmond took the pure piss out of the Celtic fans, knowing that bringing back Martin O'Neill would appease the fans till the end of the season. The board have played us since they brought in Wilfred Nancy. They weren't taking responsibility for the situation, for the debacle of bringing in Wilfred Nancy. They brought in Martin O'Neill. The fans wanted Martin O'Neill. They sang it. The fans in big numbers didn't need the Green Brigade. No, they didn't need the Green Brigade. Martin O'Neill, Martin O'Neill, Martin O'Neill, Martin O'Neill, Martin O'Neill. It was an easy option for the board, wasn't it? It wasn't about doing the right thing for Celtic. It was always an easy option. And now we see this. If Casper Michael has done anything at Celtic, is he's opened our eyes. And there's one thing that we should maybe be thankful to Casper Michael, that inadvertently he's opened our eyes to the shit show that is the hierarchy of Celtic Football Club. Yes, we may still win the title. Yes, we may win the double. We won the double under Ronnie Dyler with these same charlatans. They've played us like absolute fools this season. He's done us out a few points this season. I hope he doesn't cost us when it's all said and done. Get your comments in before the acid wears off. I'd love to have a bit of acid. Good old bit of acid. Proper old school stuff. Do you think that Celtic have sacked Michael, and that's why no mention of the club? Sacked due to not disclosing his injury. Well, that's for Martin O'Neill to face the music and dance. Let's face the music and dance. I honestly feel for Martin O'Neill. This should be a Michael Nicholson. This should be hierarchy Celtic stuff. Shouldn't be left to a 74-year-old manager to cover up the shit show. Because let's not... I don't care if... Do you know what? I will celebrate more than most if we win the league. I'll celebrate it in public eye. I will go through the friggin' roof if we win this league this year. In public. But there is no taking away. And if we do take away from everything that's now built, it's not a one situation. It's not the Brendan Rodgers situation. It's not the not bringing in players for Brendan Rodgers. It's not the dealing with the Brendan Rodgers and the way that he left the club. It's not the statement by Dermot Desmond that annihilated Brendan Rodgers and said Brendan Rodgers was the issue and everything wrong at Celtic Park. Celtic are making a shit show of it from themselves. If you're a defence lawyer, and one of my best mates at one point was a defence lawyer, so we used to talk this shit smashed out our heads on a Saturday night, loads. And we would talk through scenarios on lots of different things. And if you're a defence lawyer trying to back Celtic just now, you're sitting looking at Celtic and going, what the fuck? Shut up, don't say anything, and everything that you do say, you're incriminating yourself, you absolute shower of shambles. Honestly, it's unbelievable. It's like everything, and this is why Celtic have been so quiet this week, because it's got to the end of the season ticket renewal was round the corner. They have absolutely cocked up on if you're a PR company and you've been brought in by Celtic and you look at the historical comments of the club statements over the last 8 months, you're sitting there going, how the but Jesus, do I turn this around? There's nobody in their right mind tries to turn this around. Hence the reason that the Celtic Football Club, have said absolutely nada, and they're going to leave it to a 74-year-old manager to face the music on Friday, tomorrow. What have become, says Taylor? I have no idea. It's when you think about the way that the season's gone, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Do you think that I've been through that comment? There's some of the comments coming back. Casper thinks he can do as he please. He's fine. He's a fucker. Is a fuck up the Casper stuff? Yes, it is that. Keeping things from Martin O'Neill, that shit he's bailed us out. But did we keep things from Martin O'Neill? Martin O'Neill couldn't be blamed if he walked out the door. We don't want Martin to walk out the door, though. We want Martin to win the title. We want Martin to win the double. Let's just put that straight. I do not want Martin to walk away. I want Martin O'Neill to win the double. I want Martin O'Neill to win a title. But I feel for Martin O'Neill because it's not the Celtic that he knows, loves, likes, trusts, and wants to do well. This is a poor effort of a Celtic. And Martin O'Neill's done absolutely fantastic. So by no means do I want Martin O'Neill to walk away. I want Martin O'Neill to walk away with his head held high and the Celtic fans to proclaim him as the Messiah that he is. A 74-year-old dude taking the pure piss out of Scottish football. I don't think that Martin O'Neill was told the whole truth. Why would he intentionally play an injured keeper? Makes no sense. You're giving Jasper too much airtime. Let's be positive. We have Sinisalo. No, we have to talk about. This might have been podcast been speaking about all week. I've not been on all week. We've got to address the elephant in the room, and the elephant is Casper. And see all the and this is there's a bit of karma as well, because see all the people that jumped onto the channel and said, how dare you disrespect Casper for being slightly overweight, you're a fattest, you're against fatties. Come on. He's a professional goalkeeper. Look at Joe Hart when he left Celtic. That's all I'm saying. And Martin O'Neill is definitely trying to keep everyone together. He's a wily old fox. He's a wily old fox. Casper Michael is making money. Is a making money brand. I still feel sorry for the big guy. Probably just wants to play football. If he wants to play football, and why did he announce it on a TV station that has nothing to do with Celtic? Why was he down in Manchester when I believe that his family's still down there? There's a lot of disrespect and disregard for Celtic in the way that Casper Michael went about things, and I do not think that I don't even think that you'll see if Celtic win the trophy. I'm going to say right now, if the Celtic win the title, the league title, for the first time ever, if Casper Michael dares to come back to Celtic, to step onto the pitch on that final day of the season, to receive his winner's trophy for the season, his medal, I think for the first time ever, you may have Celtic fans boo a Celtic player lifting a winner's championship medal. I don't say it's going to happen. It's a prediction. I know how the Celtic fans work. I think Casper Michael spat his dummy out when Celtic fans booed him for not being fit, for not being up to scratch, for playing by his own agenda to try and make sure that the international manager saw that he was maybe fit enough to get to the World Cup. He played Celtic like a fiddle. And anybody over the history of Celtic Football Club that tries to play Celtic fans, you can play the management, you could play the board, you could play the people that pay your wages, you can maybe be able to fool them. By no means will you be able to fool the Celtic fans. Irishman in Porto says, greetings from Dragon Stadium. Porto have just scored versus Stuttgart. Thanks. He's knackered after filming the fans for the best part of 3 hours. He's just got the best job in the world, doesn't he? And he does come on here just to kind of gloat that he's got a fantastic job and that he gets to watch football for nothing. And Big Wilfred didn't come into Celtic. We could have been going straight. Let's not talk about Wilfred, Nancy, because it's the people that are above him that are above Martin O'Neill that made decisions that Stevie Woods must have known how bad the keeper's injury was. What's Casper's dad telling him? Celtic are cunts. Get Casper Michael cancelled. Yeah, I'm now ripping March out the calendar. Even though it's only the 19th of March, I'm ripping March out the calendar altogether. You've got to remember at the beginning of the month, I produced the calendar that had Casper Michael as Mr. March. I don't have a March in my calendar now. Since before the Aberdeen Cup final, yes, since before the Aberdeen, it's clear the board only see us as pound signs. They couldn't give an F about us. I'd love to see an empty stadium. Show them where the power really lies. Won't happen, but I'd love to see it, says Vic. Suppose he's waiting for surgery. Celtic got to foot the bill. Cheeky bar stewards. Yeah, the surgery's tomorrow, he said on telly. Yeah, I'm going in for a shoulder surgery. He's standing, smiling. Fucking, I'm going in for an operation on Thursday. My football days are done. Gives a beer. In fact, where's Robbie? You remember when Robbie ran along the line and went, oh, Jesus. I just watched the documentary today about the green and whitewash. Fucking amazing, man. Wee man with the bonnet. I don't even want to talk about the summer yet, mate. The Green Brigade is the beating heart of the fan base. We demand their return in defiance of this board's contempt of our fans. It's a fine mess that we've got ourselves into, isn't it? I'm going to jump into some of the super chats that have been on the channel this evening. Apologise, and the channel isn't all about super chats, even though somebody put a comment out the other day that the channel was all about super chats. It's not. It's the way that YouTube works. But anyway, Jed Johnson says St. Paddy's Day in Dublin was awesome. Baz, the Swally is tops. Is that it's the best beer in Spain. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise, and it's a local beer as well. So yeah, brewed just a few miles along Fiha. Danny Cassie, and wishing Magnus good luck next week, and everyone in the One Celtic Fans View thinking about you, mate. And Magnus is going in for an operation. The Green Brigade won't be at the back this season, says Flanagan. No, they won't. Sadly, I don't think that they will. And if the board don't change, nothing at the club can. This is very true. The board never take responsibility. Speak about the football. We'll speak about the football shortly. I never said I'd be here for a short time. I said I'd be here for a long time and a good time. And I will jump through the comments. Anyway, we'll talk about the football that's coming up this weekend. There is that comment. There, Baz, Casper did not look one bit upset. No, he didn't. And that's the point. That it's not that one. Where is it? Let me just get this picture back up. I mean, this is a picture from last night. Does this look like someone that's going in for an operation tomorrow? Does this look like someone that's bothered about Celtic fans? Does this look like someone that's really given two iotas about the situation that the club... Come on. Really? That's a good comment. By the sounds of it, Casper was quite happy to sacrifice our club for his personal gain. Shame. It came ahead of him. Yeah. It's karma, isn't it? Karma's a bitch. Don't ever try and fucking take Celtic fans for them. But anyway, let's talk about the game this weekend with Celtic. It is all about being back to football. Martin O'Neill will have the interview with the media tomorrow. Celtic do find themselves second place in the table, all to play for when it comes to the league table. Let's face it, we are well within the running for... A lot of people would say that the momentum is with Celtic. Rangers will think that they're still in with the fight, being 1 point behind Celtic. Celtic have had, you've got to say, when you look at the last 5 games, Celtic have had the better results. Could the momentum be changing? And if you've seen the video that I put out on Facebook today that spoke about the history of Celtic Football Club and the fact that back in 1986, Celtic fans, even though that Celtic had won the game 5-0, they knew it wasn't enough because Hearts were winning 1-0 going into the final moments of their game. Only for a little Dundee guy to score a goal and then go and score another and make Dundee win the game 2-1 to send Celtic fans into delirium. Could it happen again? I think he was emotional, not smiling, says B. That's not emotional, B. That's taking the piss. Come on, I'm just saying it as it is. A lot of Celtic fans will say the same. And when you see the picture, let me see if I can get the other one up of this one. This is completely taking the piss. Look, this is him the night before. That's Casper Michael. That's not somebody that's emotional. That's not heartbroken. That's not somebody that's... I'm never playing another game for Celtic Football Club again in my life. That's somebody that's going, fuck you, Celtic, you're never winning the league. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, but that's not somebody that's emotional. I respect all comments, but B says, I think he was emotional, not smiling. Yeah. We'll leave Casper Michael at that and we will go on. May take Dick Dastardly and Muttley's crew. I think we need more than that, mate. I think we do need more than that. That was last night with Carragher. Yeah, it was last night with Carragher. Smiling, fucking laughing. Sorry for swearing. Happiness is an emotion. Yeah, it is. Happy that I'm just no longer in Glasgow. Anyway, Super Joe Hart, yeah, Super Joe Hart. Anyway, when it gets to the game this weekend, Martin O'Neill's got a big decision to make. Well, he's not got a decision to make, has he? Sinasalo will be in goals. But when you look at some of the other players, Martin O'Neill's had a week to... I heard that through here. Oh, Jesus. Yes. Um, I've not seen anyone mention the cup final he won for us in his first season. Players are always... nobody mentions... I'm going to come back to that one. Nobody mentions the cup final that Adam Ida won for us. Adam Ida scored 20 goals. I don't want to go down that road, mate, of, oh, but what about this, what about that? Adam Ida scored 29 goals for Celtic, mate, and he was chased out of Celtic. He never disrespected Celtic in the way that Casper Michael has. Come on, let's not go down that road, because it's a narrative that we're better than that. Let's not talk. Let's give Casper Michael some credit. Give friggin' Adam Ida some credit. 29 goals when he was playing second fiddle to Kyogo Furuhashi. Come on, man. And he was chased out the door and told he's not good enough. And we brought in Kelechi Iheanacho, Tam the Czech that can't score unless it's for the penalty spot. Give it a break, mate. Anyway, big up the Adam Ida. And I said that Adam Ida would score up to 10 goals on loan for Celtic, and he did. Casper owes us nothing. He was a good goalkeeper. Pre-injury. Booing him and verbally abusing him during games, he's entitled to say, get it right up you. Good luck to Casper in the future, and thanks. Even though I won't play devil's advocate with every comment. Even though he cost us against various teams this season, cost us a lot of points, we may not be second in the league if it wasn't for Casper Michael. Goalkeepers cost you position in the league. Strikers get you positions in the league. And I can understand people saying, give Casper the respect. Go and give Adam Ida the respect he was due then. I was a big Adam Ida advocate. Still am. Still think that he could have done a job for Celtic. Still think that Adam Ida, if he had stayed at Celtic this season, he would have put away quite a few of the chances that we had been missing. You can't say the same with keeper. Because when a keeper lets in a goal, you can't say, well, the other keeper would have saved that. Anyway, let's move on for it. He's cost us the treble. Imagine selling their strikers and just being like, nah, we'll side them. Any other clubs' heads would roll. Exactly, mate. And that's the only point that I'm trying to get across is, it's all fine and well people saying, give Casper a bit of respect. But if you're going to give Casper that same bit of respect, give Adam Ida that respect. Give every single player that you've chased out the club. And this is maybe a wake-up call for some Celtic fans, because see the players that you've chased out the club over the years that would have bled green and white for Celtic, and you show them massive amounts of disrespect, and yet there's people sitting on their high horses saying, fuck off, give Casper his due respect, he fucking saved us in a final. All I'm saying is, you got to take, you can't have one without the other. Anyway, there's been plenty of bad words directed at Ida. Lol. I was once one of them. Yes, there was a lot of bad words aimed at Ida. And I said at the time, it's unjustified. Unjustified. 29 goals scored. Anyway, move on for that. Right, let's move on. Vic the Screamer. Of course it is. Of course it is. There's never no. Do you know what? If you're going to be just like, anyway, it's cool. It's all about a Celtic view and a one Celtic fan's view. We certainly don't owe Casper anything. Hopefully, we'll see him at Celtic Park again. Casper was on Sesame Street. Big Bird, says Stephen Johnson. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, don't know the Sesame Street tune. Anyway, Celtic news is tonight that Callum McGregor may be back for the game this weekend. How much do we need Callum McGregor back, or can we do with the likes of Oxlade Chamberlain, Rio Hatate, who's not been chosen for a World Cup pre-warm-up game, and Benji Negrin in the middle of the park? The one thing for sure is Martin O'Neill will have a big job this weekend to make sure he picks out the right team. On that note, I'm going to leave it to tomorrow, and I think that I will come on live after the Celtic manager has his press conference tomorrow, because I think that there may be a lot to talk about. It won't be at 8 o'clock at night, it will be earlier on. So the Celtic interview with Martin O'Neill is round about 1:30 Celtic Park time. The time that Celtic put the videos out and everything, and all the media have put everything out, is round about 3 o'clock. So if we say that we might come on, say around about 4 o'clock Celtic Park time tomorrow, to openly discuss the thoughts of Martin O'Neill. That'll be interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, it's been absolutely fantastic to be back on doing lives this evening. Big shouts out to everyone who has done super chats this evening. Big shout out to everyone who has done comments also. Irishman Reporter says, should we rush him back? Talking about our captain. If I was Martin O'Neill, I would get a second opinion. Interesting. Have you heard anything through the grapefruit vines of the football world that suggests that Casper Michael may have been encouraged otherwise to play for Celtic? Send me a DM. On that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. I'm going to finish my beer.